Why does the NFL keep exporting its worst games to Europe? Because it can. The NFL's efforts to expand its international audience, particularly in Europe, have been met with some eyebrow-raising decisions, namely, the quality of the games it has chosen to export. While the league touts its global ambitions, it has repeatedly subjected European fans to a parade of underwhelming matchups that do little to showcase the sport's best. Since the NFL first took its games overseas in 2007, there have been 42 regular season matchups in Europe, with only 2 games featuring teams with winning records, a 2022 matchup between the Giants and Packers and last year's game between the Chiefs and Dolphins. The rest? A parade of mediocrity and even outright futility. 9 times, European crowds have been subjected to games involving at least one winless team, including the infamous 2017 Cleveland Browns, who went 0-16. The disaster that was the Urban Meyer-led Jaguars, and the 1-15 Dolphins with quarterback Cleo Lemon. The upcoming game in Munich between the Carolina Panthers, 2-7, and the New York Giants, 2-7, is the latest in a long line of underwhelming contests. With both teams having abysmal seasons, this game is more about the draft order than playoff implications. The loser will move one step closer to securing a high pick, potentially for a new quarterback or top-tier prospect. But for the European fans, it's another game where the outcome matters more for the future of the teams than for any real excitement in the present. To make matters worse, halftime entertainment in Munich features Machine Gun Kelly, a decision that many would argue is just as much of a deterrent as the matchup itself. The NFL is making a habit of subjecting European fans to poor quality games, with little sign of improvement in sight. But why does the NFL keep doing this? It comes down to one simple reason: the league doesn't need to prioritize top-tier matchups for its international games. The games in Europe often sell out regardless of the quality of the teams playing. The NFL has built a loyal fan base across the continent, thanks to Europeans' growing curiosity about American football and the support of American expats who crave a slice of home. Even games featuring lackluster teams like the Jaguars often draw large crowds. And viewership for NFL games in the UK has steadily increased over the years. This ensures that the NFL doesn't feel the pressure to send its most prestigious teams abroad. Take the Jaguars, for example. Since 2013, they played at least one game per year in London and started playing 2 games there in 2023. Despite their long-running struggle to stay competitive, only 2 playoff appearances in the past 16 years, the Jaguars have become London's team, simply by virtue of playing there so often. For the NFL, this is a good business decision. The games still sell tickets, and the demand for NFL action remains strong, even if the product isn't always top tier. There's also the challenge of scheduling these international games at times that are convenient for American TV viewers. If the NFL wanted to send more high-profile matchups to Europe, it would likely need to put them in the early morning hours in the US, a time slot that would hurt TV ratings. While other sports leagues, like European soccer teams, regularly tour the US during their off-seasons, the NFL seems unwilling to disrupt its existing U.S. broadcast schedule by pushing premier games into inconvenient time slots. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell has expressed grand ambitions to take American football global, with plans for future games not just in Europe but in Africa, Asia, and Australia. But fans on those continents, much like in Europe, will likely find that they're not getting the league's best product. Instead, they'll likely be treated to the same level of mediocrity that European fans have endured for years.